recording.
Hello everyone, welcome to our next episode. And today we're talking about how life is energy. And can you imagine, guys, Svetlana is the best expert on this earth working with the
And
energies,
in the
knowing
cosmos.
understand all the energies. And today we have a great opportunity just to dive into this topic and find out what we really need to do in order to sleep well, to eat well, and not to be exhausted, because is our in our modern time right now, this is the big problem. We can eat, let's say, good stuff, we can sleep 8 hours, but we wake up and we're already exhausted. It just happened in my life. I think it was 9 years ago. I was living in this rhythm, eating well, sleeping well, but feeling myself very tired. And thanks God, I found the answers. That it's not everything related to our body. It's related to energy. And when I met Svetlana, I was so surprised and so happy because Svetlana is the best expert talking about how it flows in our body and what we need to do in order to feel ourselves happier, easier in the movement, because this is not secret. Most of the people feel themselves very,
They're
very tired.
tired,
Yeah.
always tired.
Even laying on the beach, they feel them tired. Yes, Svetlana.
For sure. I am the best for myself. In my field of expertise, I believe I've done a lot of research and a lot of cases, real life cases, to see how we are not in flow. Even though we are the energy, the body is the energy, everything within our body fluctuates, nothing is stagnant, and yet we find the way to limit ourselves, to get into stagnation, and this feeling of exhaustion is registered in many different levels. First of all, we are watching the movies, for example. And when we watch the movie, 2 hour movie gives us 2 weeks worth of adrenaline. Even if it's the nice movie, but you cry from your heart, and it's very beautiful, this level of involvement with any emotional state with other people or with other people in the movie already gives you a lot of adrenaline cortisol circulation in the body, and your adrenal glands are working 2 hours of the movie or 2.5 hours of the movie extra hard. And if you binge watching any series of movies, then you get adrenaline and cortisol worse of hormonal disbalance for very long time. So it takes about 2 weeks for 2 hour movie to eliminate that amount from your body. And all that time, the immune system is down, your alertness is down, you are always in the detoxification mode. And of course, your body is working more than it should be working. But it also registered in here where you feel exhausted mentally. Mental exhaustion is much worse than physical exhaustion because you can't even think. Okay, you cannot move, fine. You cannot run, fine. But now you're sitting and this word tired, if you think about when people are done working, are you retired? Yes, thanks God, I'm retired. Now I'm gonna live for myself. That's another reason. When that is happening, it means this whole life the person was so exhausted. I have somebody, one of the clients just said, no, I'm doing nothing. I'm sleeping since months. I'm sleeping. I feel so good sleeping. I'm like, okay, that's the retired state of some people who are 20 or even 15 sometimes or 25. It's not about the age. People retire from their life because life is a business. We run this business very inefficiently. And the reason we run this business inefficiently because we don't know very simple basic things. For example, you wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock. It's the time when adrenaline comes in to wake you up. If you did not wake up, it is in your body because body is ancient. It keeps going. It keeps going. But this, what happens? You are awakened at some point with the headache. Right now I'm in Portland. I'm dancing. I'm a tango dancer. So tango only happens during the night. So this is a week when I'm consciously making hormonal disbalance in my body. But I use essential oils. This is rose, and I have a bunch of them, which helps my state. I bring my state back to hormonal balance because flower oils always help with the hormones. So anyway, some people don't know that. So they already shifted their time, sleeping time. And during the sleep, every phase has a particular reason. Alpha state of your brain, then you drop to delta, theta, and so on. And the theta, you heal your body, you process your emotions. But if you never get there, if you sleep very superficially, you will wake up exhausted. Sometimes people talk about strong stuff in the family, or they talk to their children, and then they go to sleep. And whole time they're sleeping, they're processing that. In the morning, they wake up with the panic attack because the subconscious mind is processing things not as conscious mind. It makes movies out of it. So all of that energy is creating burnout, and it's burnout of the fuel of your body. You know how you're burning you need the fuel to start the fire, and you're burning the wood, right? So the fuel in your body is not just food. Food needs fuel to be processed, especially processed food, because you need to process those processing stuff. And raw food also needs fuel because raw food is also harsh sometimes and need to be processed. Some people should eat this kind of food. Some people should eat this kind of food. Some people should be in the light when they're eating. Some people should be in the company of people, like me, for example. I need to be in the company of people. If I'm eating alone, I can eat only vegetables because my body is not going to process. But with the company, I will process anything, including meat. So people always ask me, "You've been a vegetarian just a month ago." I'm like, "I'm not a vegetarian. I am a socialitarian. When I'm with these people who eat meat, I'm okay. When I'm with vegetarians, I'm okay. But by myself, all kinds of things are happening." So your life is your business. Your body is your vehicle, and you need the right fuel. And you should not overburn this fuel. If you go 300 miles per hour in a car that can only do 60, what will happen to your car? Fatigue, constant fatigue, constant
100%.
tiredness. So I don't
100%.
know. Let's look into core issues of what gives us this overburning of the energy.
Yeah, but at the same time, we really need to understand that energy is like water. Yeah, it's like it flows, it cleans, and we really need to understand if it stands, we can be in the stage of stagnation, and it's not easy. It's not easy, and of course, as Svetlana just mentioned, that we can be in different age, yeah, of our life and feel this kind of stagnation, and of course. Like knowing it, we need to be very careful what we think about, what kind of process of thinking is going on in our heads. And as you know, guys, we are professional in our subjective reality, what's going on in your subjective reality, knowing your date of birth. This is like the best knowledge that I've gotten so far about how to remember about that my date of birth will influence my way of thinking and acting. And that's why knowing it, knowing the personal years, knowing the all this kind of um, flows of the energy inside of my consciousness will define what do I do and how can I feel myself on the next day. Because this is not a secret. We go like to the south, we go to the north, we spend time just do nothing, and after like 2 3 weeks, we still feel ourselves exhausted. And that's why this is very important topic because when we exhausted, we cannot produce anything very powerful, useful, or at least give this energy to our family members. Yeah, and when like 2 3 people in the family all exhausted, how can you feel this energy in the house?
Yeah, and the energy leaks. That's the problem. The energy leaks because within the family we have different dates of birth, which is the personality. What do I want in this life? And then we have the school of life. What do we do? And everybody in the family is our teacher in the school of life. So not only that our life is our business and our business is to take care of ourselves, but also it's our business to choose who we want to bring into our business. But when we're young, we fall in love with somebody, and that as time goes on, the person is changing. Not because they don't love you, it's the biological process. Psychosomatic events every 9 years create those moments. And when we have a personal calendar, and everybody in the family has a personal calendar, even your children up to 14, they live in your personal calendar. After 14, they start their personal calendar. So when the teenager is different, you go like, what happened to my child? A different calendar happened because they were under your influence, they lived in your energy. Now they're not. So if you do not understand what this year is about, what this month is about, what this day is about, you want something from them. They cannot give you. I have right now year 5. I'm expanding. Everybody wants to do some sort of broadcast with me. Everybody wants the partnership. My job is to choose who's my partner. I wrote a letter to one of my partners saying, at this point, I don't see any effectiveness in our partnership because of boom, 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 boom. These are the personal boundaries, which I could not do a month before because it was month 6. Month 6 is all about roses. I smell the roses and I love everybody. And when you love everybody, of course, you cannot say no. Even me, who's by nature very boundary oriented, I'm like, okay, okay, no problem. And then I realized that I went way too far into relationship that is not beneficial for me, and the person is not a partner; it's a client. And with clients, I behave differently because they need help. Partners are mutually beneficially exchanging their knowledge. So also, when you have an informational overload, some people want it. Vasili, for example, has a mission full. The energy and information is coming through him all the time. He's a great teacher. You put him on the stage, he has, I don't know, 400 plus master classes he just completed, or even 450. And I stopped counting. And how many times he goes online in Russian and English and multi-language, multiple audiences, right? For some other people, information is an overload. They cannot process it because their date of birth has this information. We can look into it and say, this is what you can do. By the way, I have a client who is in Japan. And in Japan, we have that much of a difference. So she wants to participate in everything. And I'm like, stop, please. I'll do an individual consultation with you. You receive all the information in 1 hour. You cannot be in group coaching. It's not possible for you. No, but I want to have these opportunities. Of course you do. But if you continue doing that, what will happen to your body? What will happen to your, and she teaches about youth and energy and how to sustain yourself. And I'm like, no, you cannot be a model for self-sustaining practices when you're not sleeping because we have such a huge difference. So the problem here is not what's going on around you. The problem is about what kind of choices I make, what kind of emotions I feel and do not pay attention to. So my choices are against the goals that I have. And to have the goal, again, like in our relationship, in our partnership with Vasily, for example, we both are sevens. So we are all about fast realization. Let's do it now. Let's do it right away. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And we go. As you can see, we're always out there, out there. But my mission is about moving people forward, promoting people. I take you from point A to point B to point C to point D, and I never stop because I see a bit ahead. I'm an empath and intuitive. Vasily can structure. He goes like, no, we should do this. No, that's is there. But here is now that. And because his mission is 4, he's about finding the priority. And I can talk, and he goes like that. This we take and we put it here, and we go toward that. And if you have people like that in your family, like my husband is also for, you can be very upset with them because they will always tell you, this is the direction you should go to. But if you do not understand that this is the truth, they have a channel for it, you will fight with them. No, I know better. How it is in your
Yeah.
family and in your business when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
give
yeah.
people
Because my
priority.
my my yeah, my wife, she's number four. She's 4'6", and of course, we have some issues like finding the best solution. And we know each other for age of 13. We met at school, and we've been living together for a while already. And it's so interesting when you see the way we act, with the way we talk, we make decisions, and every time we use like particular words really related to our own programs. But what I really want to say that living by others like people expectations, this is like hidden contract, yeah. Because when we think I will be convenient, I will be very like kind to all of people, in return I will be loved, yeah, I will be respected, I will be safe. And this is the big price. We pay big price related with our energy, because this is the illusion, and that's why we need to remember about it. Because um, when we're talking about our audience, this is the same thing. Big expectations. When we think about our partner, it doesn't matter. When we think about kids, even about our kids, we put a lot of pressure there. And this is like not easy when you see at the end that you spend a lot of time just waiting and expecting something that you just created in your head over here, and you never ask other people. And this is the big issue. And as I said at the beginning, you can sleep well, you can eat well, but if you have this kind of expectations in your subjective reality, there is no way. You're gonna lose your energy big time. Yeah.
And very often people don't even know what they want. The reason we live by other people's goals, and the reason we fulfill other people's desires, because we have no desires of our own. This is, by the way, is a sign that your energy is leaking. Some people are waiting until depression kicks in. He never lets me do it. She never listens to me. This is not the true situation. It's never about other people. It's when we do not know what we want, we cannot give instruction to other people so they know what they want. We wait, especially women, oh my God, we want them to guess, to know, to want for us. Why don't we get it? Doesn't he know that I love it? No, he doesn't know, because men go like this. They hunt the mammoth, and that's all they do. Women are like this. And in the corridors of these labyrinths, men cannot find their goal or priority. And therefore, sometimes within the family, spouses are getting exhausted because they can never satisfy each other, because they don't know what each other is about. But when you look at the date of your birth, you can simply very easily identify one thing that person always want and give it to them already. Because, for example, I've been living with my husband for many years, and he never understands. Like, I don't understand. What did you say? Or he doesn't hear it, or he doesn't listen. And now I understand that he needs to be told 5 times. But before, when he was asking me a question and I would say it, and then next time he asked the question again, and like, I just told you. And he said, and what did you say? And then he said, why can't you tell me right away? Because I'm going to ask this question. And I'm like, yeah, that's very logical. He's going to ask 25 times because he has not one, two, he has three number two in his metrics. And so every time it's about relating to things and understanding things and getting questions about things. And you can go crazy. But if you know, that's nothing that could be changed. It's I love this person. This person has this. Okay, it's like the color of the hair. Of course, you can color it, but it's not going to be you anymore, right? So that's that. And now I have to ask 20 times, I answer, and answer. And when he gets it, I'm like, Okay, I've given him what he wanted. And the important thing is that when the energy is leaking, you have a signal. It's either a conflict or a crisis at work. It's a conflict or crisis in the family. It's a conflict or crisis in your health. You're impatient. You are intolerant. Allergy starts happening because the body responds to things. It wants to purge it out. And what we purge out is our own state. So to be successful at life is to be careful about the fuel you put in and the amount of fuel you burn. It's very simple. When you have a car, you know once in a while you have to put the fuel in. And when you have a car, you know you have to take care of it, you need to maintain it. And once in a while, you have to look into the process, how the car is working. Is it burning fuel efficiently? But when we look at our body, we expect, Vasili is so right, we have a picture, subjective reality of how things are and how things should be, and none of it is actually true. None of it, because we have lenses. Our parents told us one thing, teachers another thing, preachers another thing, movies another thing, children, especially adult children, tell you how you should be. Fashion, politics, we constantly are, oh, yes, always bombarded by information about how we should be and how things should be. And none of it is true. Objective reality is something different. Can you elaborate, please, on the objective reality? How can we move from
Yeah, as you know, guys, we live in three realities. The first one, the biggest one, this is subjective reality. And if there are 8 billion people on the earth, it means like we have 8 billion like subjective reality. Every one of us really wants to be his way or her way. There is no way. And this is the big illusion. And of course, the second reality is objective reality, the way we act, the way we perform, the way people see us acting, talking, like fighting with others. And the question is, do you see yourself in objective reality? The answer is no. You cannot see you like acting, but you can see other people acting as objective reality. And that's why it's really and this really need to understand how you can know yourself deeper in details, how you can be performing, acting in objective reality. Because in objective reality, we have our results. In business, if you have money, you have money. In your relationship, if you have relationship, in the good is good. And are they good? Of course, there is some way to improve all the time. It happened with us when we met this with this knowledge 6 years ago. We were so impressed. We improved our relationship very high, and because this is not secret. When we turned like to 32 years old, we started fighting because the second energy kicks in our life, and this is big the period from 30 to 36 years old. This is the toughest period of our life because we really want to fight and we can feel this power. No, I really want you to do this way. And that's why, guys, you really need to understand and remember in your date of birth, there is like some energy. When I work with you during the sessions, the coach sessions, we can see what kind of energies, what kind of strong energies you have in your matrix, and what you're missing, and what's going to be weak or weaker in energies in your competence. And that's why our date of birth, this is not only numbers. This is like information about us. And if you really want like to know deeper in details, we really invite you to come and know it right away. Yeah, because it takes like 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, and you have this information, and your life is gonna be completely different. The way you act and you save the energy, because we all born with some deficit of the energies, and you can see it in the matrix. Yeah, Svetlana.
Absolutely. And I want to tell you a little story. Maybe you know this story. It is the story about the Ellie and its little dog, and they went to the beautiful town where the good magician Goodwin was living, and they were traveling on a road of the yellow bricks. And as they went to this place, they were believing that at the end, the magic will happen And everybody has what they want. And what happened, the Goodwin, the magician, so to speak, was an illusion created by green glasses and lots of words. And no matter how hopeful you are about the magician that will save your life, the only magician you have is you. And if you remember, Ellie had 3 helpers. One was a scarecrow who lacked the brain. But as they traveled, all of a sudden, he became pretty smart. Then there was a lion who was so scared. But when it came to saving Ellie and the friends, he became very unstoppable and very strong. And then at the end, they found the Tin Man who was cutting the wood and got stuck. And what unstuck him is the oil, that the energy, let's say, of life that was put back into his joints. But if you think about those 3, those are the parts of us. We have a mess here. And that mess is taking us out of the reality where we could be very brave when we need to protect somebody. But when it comes to us to say, no, thank you very much, that's not mine to do, and say yes to something that feels yummy in your body. You know, it's 70%, not everybody, but 70% of the people on this earth can identify yummy and yucky. So when you feel yum, that's the yes. And when you feel, ugh, that's no. And if you just trust that, your whole life will be split on before and after that, what I'm just telling you right now. And when you are stuck, you need that fuel. And sometimes that fuel comes from the knowledge, not sometimes, 90% of the times. Because when you know why, and why, and why, and why, and why, and then you go to the deepest why, I just want to live. I just want to be happy. Because success and money cannot buy happiness. Yes, it's good to be successful and have money, but at the end, the happiness is not in there. But looking at your birthday and month and year, I can tell you what do you really want. And by the way, write it down. See if you can write 10 and better 100 of your wants and see where you are emotionally. Because if you can do only 3 wants, you're probably between depression and fear. No good. We'll talk about emotional stuff later. But today, write your wants. Diagnose yourself. Where are you on emotional scale? Because if you have 100 wants and you keep going, you are in love. You love life. You desire life. Otherwise, no wish to live, no desires. And then the power of fight. This is what I really wanted to bring back to, because Vasili was talking about it, that between 33 and 36, we get to fight because our mission is changing and we get angry. This is the power of fight. This is terrible, but it's true. We get angry, and from depression or fear or disappointment or something, disappointment with life, we're not in the same place. We didn't come to our appointment with life. We get so angry because we feel the 33, the energy drops. We only have 30+% of what we had before. And that is crucial knowledge. If you remember anything about this broadcast, you lose the information because your brain is no longer capable of getting all that you were getting before. That's why you need to start working to bring the Kundalini up, or dancing like me. That's why you need to understand this little moment between 33 and 36, because at 36, 9-year cycle finishes and you have psychosomatic event that knocks you down. And then you go 36 to 45, midlife crisis. All avoidable. All avoidable. That's why we're doing that, what we're doing, because we know stuff that you might not know. But you can know. Yes. It doesn't take that long or that expensive. The life, the price of life, the price of every hour of your life when you're exhausted, when you're retired from your own life, when you're disappointed because you didn't come to appointment with your life, what does it cost to you? That's the
Yes,
question
guys.
to answer.
Yeah. And really invite you to know your date of birth a bit from the other side. Yeah. Not from the front, like on that you can see on your certificate of your birth date or in your passport, but from the back. We can tell you a lot of stuff that's going to be very useful for you to save your energy and really understand how to communicate with other people, because also we lose a lot of energy understanding other people, trying to understand other people, why they think the way they think and why they act the way they act. But you have these own answers in our date of birth, and really invite you with Svetlana to know it better. And so very soon we will start doing some very special webinars
Mhm.
and master classes.
Absolutely. And just one more time, remember that your day tells you who you are. There is a month that can give you a lot of information about the people that came to your life to teach you. There is a year that can show you how you can be visible. I'm invisible, nobody hears me. How can you be visible? And there is a summary of it that gives you the destiny, the mission. What am I here for? What am I doing here? And why is it happening to me? Life is happening to me. That's the time when you can happen to your life. You can happen,
Yes.
finally. So thank you very much for listening. We're happy to see you. We're happy to connect with you, and we're happy to see you in personal consultations, because there is nothing else that can help you understand things at the level that no boat, no video from YouTube, no free information out there floating can give you. When you have a person, no artificial intellect that reflects only your subjective reality. Yes, it researched the web, but it researched it according to your subjective reality. Nobody can give it to you but a real person. And you don't have to choose us. There's gazillions of different knowledges, but we are the crisis managers. We manage crisis before they come, during and after. So if you do not feel crisis in your life, trust me, they are waiting to happen. And when they happen, you go, I'm exhausted. And why am I exhausted? Because the crisis has been happening. And at the time that you already see it, that's the time where you cannot handle it. It's not that it happened now. It was happening all the time that you could stop it, but now you're exhausted because you've been not dealing with it. It was burning your energy. And now when it shows up in your life, there is no way to deal with it. So a real person to a real person conversation that you cannot have with your wife because you're scared to tell that your business is falling apart, that you cannot talk to your children about because they're scared for your life and for your health, that you cannot talk about with your parents for whatever reason. That's what we're here for. A
Yeah.
neutral person who knows stuff. This real magician, not the one in a green palace.
All right, Svetlana, thank you so much
Right.
for your time.
Very good. Thank you.